So I've had a lot of people ask us, you know, why do you freeze dry? Why invest in this piece of equipment? And I also hear a lot of people say, gosh, that's so much money, I wish I could do it, or I'm jealous, or whatever. Guys, I'm telling you, if you just budget a little bit, don't do the McDonald's couple days a week, or those foo-foo coffees. Stick that money in an envelope. Guys, it adds up quick. Look on Marketplace, see if there's somebody selling one. They are worth their weight once you get them. And I'm going to give you an example. Last summer, our chickens were, they were every single day we're getting eggs. We froze them, we water glassed them. I freeze dried a bunch of them. And what happens is I can fit in the medium freeze dryer, I can fit 2.5 pounds per tray. I don't really remember how many I put per tray, because what I do is I crack them, scramble them, and then I just weigh. When it gets to up to the top or the 2.5 pound mark, I stop putting them in there. But I do know that you can get 10 pounds of eggs per tray or per batch load. Once those are done, you package them. I package them in canning jars. I put them in Mylar bags. And what that allows me to do is, when our chickens aren't laying, they're all kind of on strike right now because it's winter time, I can go downstairs into my pantry and I can grab a jar of these. I'm hearing people saying that they just paid $19 for 2 18 packs of eggs. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So when people start thinking about do I need a freeze dryer? I really encourage people to sit down and think about things like this. 6 months or a year from now, what are our prices going to be like? We're catching things on sale now. They're going to be a lot higher priced next year or 6 months from now. So it does over time, it will pay for you to have the freeze dryer machine. The other thing that's kind of cool with this is we do a lot of camping. We do a lot of boondock camping where, we're not hooked up to electricity. Keep this in a drawer in the camper, and if we want eggs one morning, 2 tablespoons of the egg powder to 2 tablespoons of water, let that soak up a little bit of the water, scramble it, we've got eggs. The other thing that's kind of cool too is I will take this along with other, like onions, green peppers, cheese, tomatoes, whatever, and I can make up food packages to go. And if you look at them, they kind of look like the MRE, the old MREs, the aluminum foil type bags. You can do them in the canning jars like this. Put an oxygen absorber in here, and this will last, they say, 25 years. Heck, I'm happy if it gives me 6 months. I'm happy if I make it today and I can use it this summer. The other thing that's kind of cool that I really, really love is if family members are sick, I can throw together chicken noodle soup in a package, homemade chicken noodle soup, that I have taken the chicken, the noodles, the broth, the carrots, the celery, potatoes, throw that all in a bag, and I can drop that in the mail. And if somebody's sick, I can give them a get well package. All they have to do is dump boiling water in there, let it sit, pour it into their bowl, and they have a fresh, like a fresh homemade bowl of chicken soup. The other thing that we really like doing is our son-in-law is away in the Navy. And you get to missing home-cooked meals. He has a few favorite meals that I make. Some of the meals my daughter makes that he really likes. We will make that up, freeze dry it, and then we can send it to him. And like what I'm getting ready to make now are the omelet bags. And so I asked my daughter, what does Dalton like in his omelets? And so I will be able to go through my freeze-dried stuff and put everything into that bag that he likes. And then what he does, he'll follow the directions, like how much water to add onto there, let it reconstitute, open it up, and he can fry himself some breakfast. But what's really cool about it is I will make one for my daughter too, so that she can make it up. She can make it up, and then the two of them can do a Zoom meeting or whatever they talk live on their phones. You know what I'm talking about. and they can have breakfast together. They're not together, but they're still having that moment. And so it's those kind of things that make freeze drying just a really cool thing for us and for our family. So I encourage you guys, if you are curious about freeze drying and you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a couple other people on there that are experienced with the freeze dryer. Between myself and the people that are on there, we can pretty much answer any of the questions that you would have. It'll take you along as we set up the bags, we start filling them, and I show you what I do with these freeze-dried eggs. So these were done in January, March, April, May of last year. And I just make a little note on here that 2 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. So I know 2 tablespoons of the egg to 2 tablespoons of water makes 1 egg, approximately 1 egg. I've already pre-opened these just to make it easier. I'm going to pull out the oxygen absorber. For a quart-sized jar, you would need a 300 cc oxygen absorber. So if I were to use this down, you know, like half of it, I would probably be okay with it for about another week or so. If I'm going to go longer than that, I'm going to put another oxygen absorber in it. This takes about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. If you just add a little bit of cold water to it, it's all set. It's really quick to bring back. And you can see the color of these are really yellow. And that's because these are farm eggs. You know, we let our chickens free range. They're eating all kinds of stuff out there. They're eating all kinds of vegetables from the garden. So our eggs are always very, very yellow compared to store eggs. While I've got the egg stuff out, I'm going to make up 1 container of this for tomorrow morning so that my daughter can get up and have a quick breakfast. She's got to dump the water in there, let it set, jump in the shower. When she's done, she can take this out. She could cook it in this if she really wanted to in the microwave, or just let it set, throw it right into a frying pan. Freeze-dried onions. Guys, these are amazing. You can eat these just like this. We cut them up into like petals, and you can use them to dip into dips. But listen to the crunch. Yum. What we're gonna do is put about a tablespoon of onions in all the bags. I'm gonna pull that Mylar oxygen absorber out of there. And if you like a little more onions, a little less onions, you know, that's fine too. This is being kind of a pain in the butt, so I'm gonna pour the onions into here, just so it's easier to serve. If you don't like onions, you don't have to put them in there. If you veer off of this recipe a little bit, it's not going to hurt you. But if you want just the eggs, you're going to have to adjust your water, because the half cup does take into account that there's other vegetables in here that need to be reconstituted. You know, if you don't like onions but you like peppers, you could always just interchange that. This is not, it's like not like a real hard rule. You know, if you want just eggs and cheese, I would follow the 1-to-1 rule with that, and then a little bit just for your cheese. All right, I think we got onions in all those. Yeah. These are the freeze-dried peppers. All right. We like these a little bit more, so we're going to go 2 tablespoons. jalapenos. Look at those. How yummy. So David likes the hot ones, the hot jalapenos. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put those in some of these. And then I'm going to make sure that I mark the bags that these are hot. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some ground up ham. And what I do is when I find the hams on sale, I'll cube them and I run them through my grinder. So it kind of makes like a hamburger, but not hamburger. I don't know, it's just like a coarse grind. And that's only because that'll make this a quicker to rehydrate. This also works good if I want to make like a ham spread. I can rehydrate this, add a little bit of mayonnaise, some relish, mix that up, and you've got sandwich spread. These also are amazing on top of salad. You got these crunchy little ham bites, a little salty. They're good on pizza. Again, endless ideas on this. So what I'm going to do is, 2 tablespoons into each bag. This one is a fresh spinach mix. Those are those big 2-pound containers, clear containers you see at the store. And we typically use this for, adding in soups, or throw this into the blender to making smoothies in there. So I'm going to add the one mixes that we have that are hot. I'm just going to add a pinch, about that much to it. Just to the ones that I'm doing this spinach in, I'm going to add some freeze-dried tomatoes to it. These were, I believe, my Romas that I added some Italian seasoning, or maybe pizza seasoning. I don't remember what I added to it, some kind of a seasoning. So I'm just going to throw a couple of those into the bags that are for David. He really likes his to be, full of vegetables and lots of good stuff in there for him. So for his, the ones that are marked hot, I'm going to add the tomatoes to those. Guys, these are really good too. You can take these, add a little bit of water to them and puree them, and then add just a little bit of cream and maybe a bouillon cube, and you've got fresh tomato soup. We're going to be seasoning this up, 1/16 of a teaspoon maybe. If you don't want the salt, you don't have to put the salt in there. With the ham, you probably don't need a whole lot. We like pepper, so we're going to go a full 1/8 of a teaspoon. We are going to do some garlic in here. Just, we like garlic. It's good for you. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in there. Easy peasy. So I know that these are all quart-sized bags. So I go up to my little cheat sheet here, go down to quarts, and I know that I need to have a 300cc oxygen absorber. So the way that I have my drawers organized is I go from the smallest. Actually, I've got some 50s back here, 100s, 200s. And the way you can tell on these when you buy them, a lot of them mark the packages, 200 cc's. We buy them in bulk like this, just cheaper pricing. All right, so down to my 300cc drawer. Make sure my indicator's pink. So I'm going to open these. And I'm going to work pretty fast here to make sure that these get into each one of these. Making sure I can see my meter button. I'm going to come over here, turn my temp down. I'm going to hit it with the impulse sealer. I want to make sure that you got a good seal going across there. So what I'm going to do is just do a real quick, get them almost sealed up, and then I kind of squish out the remaining air. I set them down, that way I can hurry up and get the rest of these closed. Oh, I feel something in there. What is it? Oh, see there? That would cause a false seal. So I make sure that that's tucked in there. Close it back up. Squish some air out. All right, then we're going to go over to the impulse sealer. Because this is a heavier bag, I want to make sure my temperature is turned up all the way. Line this up. And I always double hit it. And then repeat. All right, guys, so what did you think of that? Wasn't that kind of cool? So basically we had taken the egg mixture, and then I went through and I placed whatever I wanted in the bags, wrote on the bags what it was, how much water you needed to add to this, basically what you had to do, kind of like a recipe, how long to let it sit, and then what you need to do with it. Sealed them up, and I wanted to show you kind of a cool thing that we do for like our son-in-law. Look at this. Taste of home. You know, when you've got a kid that's away from home, how cool would it be for him to be able to eat this and get that little taste of home, you know? And then on top of that, him to be able to have the same meal as what my daughter's having, and them being able to kind of talk live, you know, that's worth its weight. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to us. I'll put some links, videos to other freeze-drying things that we've done. I think I said I was going to post the one for the cheese. Now, shredded cheese, oh my gosh, is amazing freeze-dried. It's good as little snacks, but it's also good. I think we've narrowed it down to 1 cup of the shredded to roughly, I think it was a 1/4 cup of water. Let that set, kind of roll it around, let it set. I have found that it does better if I do it, like if I know I'm going to use it tomorrow, I'll do it up tonight. That way it has time to kind of soak in overnight. A lot of other stuff is quick, 5 minutes, and it's rehydrated. So there's some learning curve to this, but once you learn it, guys, I can do it in my sleep. Okay, grab a cup of cheese, throw some water in there, let it set. Now I know what to do with it. Works amazing when you can catch those big bags of mozzarella cheese on sale. We'll do those up, and I've got mozzarella cheese for 3 or 4, 5 months. I don't have to worry about when the stores are like, oh, we're out of them, or, you know, the price of cheese has gone up 3 times what you normally pay. I've got it. All right, guys, keep on baking, keep on cooking. Whatever it is you're doing, keep on keeping on.